Has anybody here ever been pretty much backdoored on a deal?
Oh,
Calm down.
I had to do the
Calm
pause.
down.
I knew.
I hope-
He's like, oh.
I hope on the video, the audio people get to check this out on YouTube because every single one of us had the exact same reaction. We're all backdoor in the deal.
Anybody here been backdoored?
Yeah, like you guys were in talks with a seller prior to going to go get it or something in that nature, and something happened between that.
Oh, well, we know the latest case of that.
Yeah, but we don't have to say any names. But I mean, we know one that me and Chris were going to go get, and it was for a Sega Saturn kiosk.
I got a good example of that.
We got backdoored at 5 p.m. I'm just kidding.
Just like mommy. Go ahead.
So it happens to me with the Flintstones in SoCal. Actually, I was
Dinosaur
going.
Peak?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
No, last year. It was the year before. So I got a Instagram private message deal with this guy, with this vendor, and he bring it to SoCal for me to buy it. The label it was a little screwed up, so he showed it to me. I said, okay, I'm gonna film some stuff and I'll be back because that's gonna be by the end of the video. When I came back, he told me, "Oh, dude, don't hate me. I just sold it." I was like, "Really?"
That's
What's the
backdoor.
purpose of that? Like, why would I don't know who it is, so I'm not talking about. But why would somebody do that?
You guys tell me. I don't know.
Was he one of your friends?
Yeah, I actually.
Is he still one of your friends?
Yeah.
I was mad with him for like a couple of months, but then he's a really good guy. So.
I don't know. Good guys would literally hold it and not do the
I mean, at the end, well, he sold it for more money. So
That's a true backdoor.
How much more money?
probably I think it was like 150 more.
So so your friendship to him was not worth $150. That's really what it boils down
That's
to.
kind of messed up. Yeah.
Yeah,
you put it in
bro.
perspective like that.
We'll deny him as a vendor this year.
Yeah. Just,
I just gotta even know who it is.
look at how he's actually feeling it again, and I get it.
Well,
because you brings back emotion, right?
Yeah, because I was so excited because I was going to film that, for the video for my channel
The
and
build up, yeah.
yeah, but you know the story, Karma got. Oh no, that's another story. That was with Retro Rick. Yeah,
Yeah, what
but
happened with that one? Well, and you guys did the vote.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, but that
was a mutiny.
no, but that happens before the Retro Rick thing.
So the Retro Rick thing, what happened is Gabo and Rick were both looking for Flintstones at Dinosaur Peak at Siege. And they both kind of agreed that, like, there's one copy available. Like, who's going to get it? I guess we'll do, like, a vote. And they decided to have, like, a vote of all the people there to vote who gets to buy it. And I got a lot of heat in the video because two of the people who told Gabo, no, you don't get it, was Ricky and I. And we said Retro Rick should get it. But I knew in my head it was already overpriced and it wasn't a good time for Gabo to be spending that type of money. So as his friend, I was like, no, Gabo doesn't get it. Retro Rick gets to buy it.
Yeah, make that guy over.
There wasn't a better way to do that? Flip a coin or rock,
It
paper,
was more
scissors?
fun.
it was
that way.
fun for the videos.
But that's hard because then it like pinpoints you like friends against friends.
Yeah, people were like in the comments like, oh, that's messed up, your
Yeah.
buddies.
But also,
But it would have been messed up if you chose Gabo over Rick too. So you would have lost.
But in reality, too, I know at the time, Rick could afford it. He was fine. Gabo could afford it, but it just wasn't a good time.
Yeah.
It was overpriced, too. So I'd way rather screw over Retro Rick.
and also, like, not a lot of people know the behind the scenes
Dude, looking
finances
out
of somebody either. Like,
Oh, yeah.
in the moment on film, you're not seeing like what's his
I'll
finances.
show you my
and stuff
bank
like that.
account. Like, nobody does that on YouTube. I always say buy within your means. Don't.
I'm not rich like him, so but
I love that.
he was so right because Karma got the next event. I find it way cheaper,
Yeah.
and
With like a trade, too.
I put in a trade too, so I end up paying not a lot. So
Yep.
Like within your means and like actually getting what you wanted out.
And then you got 2 videos out of it. So, I mean,
yeah. I mean, it was.
That's
a little
true,
redemption
too.
story.
Hey, I
that's
like
kind
that.
of part of it, right?
Yeah, because
Did
I
you
mean,
monetize the video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got paid that way too. How about you?
I just need to put more videos out.
Hey, I mean,
I'm lazy.
Hey, we've all been there. I know I was on my two.
Well, you guys know why I'm not putting videos out lately. So,
Bro, it's just life. Life hits us in different ways and directions, and
feeling out some health stuff.
Bro, this is free content for people to enjoy.
Well,
you know what I mean? So just put that.
Probably I need to start putting videos out to pay my medical bills.
So there's a link down below for Gabo's GoFundMe.
No. But Chris, I mean, we had one recently. We don't have to say any names on who ended up with it, but we also could say pretty much what happened, transpired, and build up.
Yeah, did get backdoored. Did hurt a little bit. There was some anger in that one from myself, where I was like, man, that was really messed up the way that went down. It was angered at the seller, who was somebody that was on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, so there was a Facebook Marketplace, and somebody had sent me the listing to send to to the guys and all that stuff.
Something I was looking for a long time.
Yeah.
Then I was coordinating with that seller, had a time set up, had a place set up, was ready to go. You were coming with me. We were going to make a trip out of it.
She agreed for you to buy it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were all set. It was all locked in. We were excited. We were talking about it. We were ready to go. So there was a lot more to it. And then literally the next...
It was later that night, because that's when we went out to dinner, I think, right?
Before, got a message like, I'm sorry, I sold it to somebody else. And
they already came to pick up.
Yeah, and they're already coming to pick it up. And I responded back like, oh, well, we already had a time. Like, why don't you let me bid higher than whatever this other price you had? Like, to be fair. And at that point, she was kind of like annoyed with me, and I was
well, no, she told you a little white lie. She said, oh, my dad got confused about what he was selling. She wouldn't just flat out tell you that it was a higher amount.
Right. She was definitely like lying at that point. Yeah. I couldn't figure out why. Like we had, and I just was trying to say to her, like, if you give me a better price, like, let me at least give me the chance to bid. That's all.
Yeah, like if somebody else is offering higher.
If somebody else is offering, I'll offer higher and let them offer higher, kind of thing. Even though I don't really like those scenarios where you're bidding against each other like that.
They're telling you.
She probably felt very awkward because she is probably not a regular reseller.
I think that was feeling, part of it. And it was kind of weird.
She was like supposedly negotiating for her dad at the time, and
when I say I got angry, I didn't really get angry. What could I do? I was just upset. I was like, what the heck? I was like, we had a whole disappointed, really.
It was far from here.
No,
maybe like an hour and a half.
30.
Yeah. So
it was more messed up because it was like, like we would have probably went there right when they asked, and it was like that coordination just didn't want to happen, right? Like
I was trying everything. I mean, she had a price. I didn't even negotiate with her. I was like, that's what I'll pay, no problem. Well, I could come today, I could come tomorrow, and whenever. Like there was no reason for the deal not to happen, other than people made offers, which is fine, and. In that scenario, the seller can do two things. Be like, you know what, I'm going to honor the original deal that I had. Or two, to be fair to people, in my opinion, what you should do is say, listen, I've been getting higher offers. This is the offer I have. Do you want to pay more than that? Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'll pay more. Okay. And then go back and forth, and you could do kind of like an offer like that.
Do you think that's like we know somebody that had that similar scenario where actually it was a shirt that got bought, and then that shirt got delisted because somebody said, I'll pay double. And then that person buys it. And then the next person says, I will pay double that person. And then what do you do from that scenario?
Right. So, I mean, if you're a seller, and I know which scenario you're talking about.
But I mean, if you're paying somebody's like asking price right away, do you think it's okay to just pull that deal?
I mean, I would not have been mad with this seller. I was not upset if she had at least just given me the opportunity to bid. Like, I understand it. Okay, so you had something that was pretty rare. You listed it and it was low and we agreed on a price. And now you're saying, hey, I'm getting higher offers. Like, if you came back to me and said, listen, I'm getting higher offers. I didn't realize what this is worth. Like, I think it's worth more. Okay, just give me a chance. I just didn't have a chance to bid, which is why I was kind of upset. Like, you just sold it to somebody else.
Not like a rug pull, it felt like, right?
Yeah, that was a total rug pull.
Riff, has anybody ever like backdoored you or Ricky like in a deal?
Honestly, not really. And we would think so because we've been in it for so long. I just think I come off so loving and sweet that people don't want to pull it on me.
It's probably true, actually.
Honestly, there probably is something to that. Like, I come off like, and I'm not saying you don't. Like, I'll be like as overly kind, overly complimentary as I can. Thank you so much. God bless you.
That stuff matters, man.
You know,
Schmoozability.
yeah, schmoozability. I think, not saying obviously you don't, but I just have never got that. I've never got.
I haven't had this happen in a long time with this scenario that happened. When we were at SoCal, there was another scenario where this was similar. There was a shirt that I wanted to buy out of the World of Gaming exhibit, and I was like, Johnny, who runs the show, I was like, Johnny, can I buy that shirt? And he was like, oh yeah. He's like, I'll sell it to you. And then he came to me later and he said, oh, I forgot I had talked to this other guy who's a vendor on the show floor, and he said he wanted to buy it. And I was like, oh man. And I was like, so now we have two people that want to buy this really rare shirt. Right. And I was like, well, Johnny, I don't want to get into a bidding war back and forth. And so he thought about it and he said, you know what I think is the fairest thing to do? I'll let you guys both make a blind offer on it. You guys don't know. So you're not competing with each other, and whoever's the highest. And I was like, that is totally fair to me. And we made an offer. I bid, I think, $1,300 on that shirt, and the other guy bid $1,250. We were that close. He bid $1,251.
Dang.
Yeah, it was
just in case you bid $1,250.
Yeah, he thought I was going to bid like $1,250.
Wouldn't that suck though if you guys both bid $1,251?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
right, like Price is Right kind of thing.
I
right?
like the blind bid.
Two blind bids. Give me your highest, best offer, and then I'll make a decision.
I think what if I was doing, like, other than off this topic a little bit, but also kind of relative to it, is like when you're doing like a marketplace deal or like a local deal, and then you have a set time to meet up, and that person never responds after you've made a set time and date.
Pretty ruthless too. Yeah, when
Dude,
you're like,
I happened to me the other night.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. I'm here.
Yeah.
It happened to me the other night. I drove all the way to West Covina, which is kind of far.
Wow.
Dang.
Wow.
I didn't realize it was that far. I was like, West Covina, why does it feel like it's just in LA, right? So I start heading out that way. It's about hour and 15, hour and 20. And I'm like, all right. This guy goes, yeah, I'll be off at like 7 to 8 p.m. So I'm like, all right, I'll be heading there around 6:30, right? So I'm getting there around 7:30. I'm messaging him. I'm like, hey, I'm on my way. Nothing, right? And then I'm like, hey, I'm here at 7:30. Nothing.
No.
And then the guy doesn't respond to me until the next morning. Yo, I'm so sorry. Like, I had an event last night and couldn't meet it. And I was so mad. I was like, I didn't even want to reply.
So he really just got high and
You
forgot.
should report. Did you report him?
No, I don't do all that,
You
dude.
should.
No, I just sit in my little
I'm
bucket
a
of
big
sadness.
believer in reporting.
Can you report people for that?
Yeah. Oh,
On
absolutely.
Facebook Marketplace?
You can
Like, they
report
didn't
people.
show up?
Does
put
it
like
do
a
anything,
low-
though?
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
mean,
can put like a
account
low
can get
rating, but I
Oh,
don't,
you could rate him.
I don't know. I feel like ratings isn't like really a thing either. Like,
No,
I
I'm
feel
a big believer. When I see people screwing up in life, I'm like, I bet you no one's ever told them how big of a dick they are.
I
Like, they
rated
need to
that
hear it.
person that backdoored me. I think Facebook did give me a chance to rate that. I was
yeah.
like,
How was
one
your back?
star.
How was the back door? Was it?
I rated my backdoor 1 star.
Was it a good backdoor experience?
Backdoor experience.
No, but I mean, like, I feel like I've had that like happen where it's like, you have an agreed deal in price, and then it's like you're like, all right, like I'm good with that, and then all of a sudden they come back, actually, dude, I'm gonna have to like unlist it and relist it for more.
Yep.
That like
It's hard because how many stars did he have?
I mean, like, they had 5. I mean, like, but
I mean,
like,
that happened. I'll just mention this
Facebook
one.
isn't
That
crazy.
PS1 kiosk that we were looking at the other day. It was listed at $1,000. I think they got a bunch of messages. They didn't respond initially, and then they reached out to me. They raised the price to $1,500, and then reached out and were like, "Hey, are you still interested?" And I was like, "Is the price $1,500 now?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, but it went up." And so they must have had a lot of interest.
Yeah, but I get it. You go on the bidding war of it, and then you
Yeah,
pretty much go for your best offer. I think the guy that's asking for $15K for the other Sega Saturn kiosk.
Oh, yeah. That's
Remember you sent it in the group chat from
Now,
OfferUp?
Curtis, you need to get the guy back. Reach out to him about something else and say he'll be there in a minute. And as soon as he's
No,
outside waiting for
actually,
you.
I felt
go.
like a scumbag because I did try to backdoor a kiosk, and because it happened just to Chris.
Dang.
It just
Two
happened to
wrongs
Chris.
don't make a right,
No.
Curtis.
I
He
was
was
mad.
trying to make up the karma.
Yeah,
Two wrongs that makes it worse.
Dude,
He was
I
trying to
literally
yin and
was
yang
like-
it.
I was like, no, they're like, they're gonna pick up in the morning, and I was like, this is the same exact scenario that happened to my boy. We're getting it back, and I was like, I will pay double, triple, whatever that is, right? Like it would have been like $1,500, but like. She was like, nope, we are sticking to the price. We are sticking with the
We are
meetup.
honoring our original
He was a
agreement.
good human.
Look, like as a seller, I would be like that.
Yeah.
But as a buyer, I was like, I want a little get back. I felt a little salt in the air after me and
There's
Chris.
nothing wrong with doing that either, necessarily.
I feel
don't
like
think.
there is a little bit. I mean,
You think there's something wrong with that?
felt
Like
like
if
a
you know
little-
people have made a deal and then being like, well, I'll pay more than that.
But I don't understand. You just said you were disappointed about getting
because
backdoored,
like
but you
By
just
the
say it's
seller,
okay.
not by the person, not by the buyer. The buyer that made the offer on the thing that I was trying to buy. I'm not upset at that person. In fact, we know that person.
Yeah, we
I'm
love
not
that
upset.
person.
Yeah, I know who it is that did that.
Okay.
I'm not upset at that person.
You're just
at all.
upset about the
seller not
Okay.
giving
The
me the
seller's
opportunity.
control.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
like being a seller, integrity is everything. But being a buyer on the other end, it's like you just put out your best offer and see what happens.
That's true.
Except if it was friends, people you know. Like if say
Friends,
you had
yeah,
a deal worked out on something, then I came over and I was like, hey, I'll pay more than Curtis will pay. Like
Oh, that's kinda scummy.
But that's also
Yeah.
like
That's way different.
Yeah,
That's
that's also a
different.
testament of like our friendship. It's like money really doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
We know
yeah.
this, and when it comes down to somebody you don't know, and you're like, I will pay more than whoever on the other line is. You're shooting your shot. I get it. I see it happen.
it is kind of scummy though. Like if
It
you were
feels
at
scummy.
think about it's okay. I guess it's acceptable when it's online because you don't ever see the people, right? Like what went on with this scenario, it's kind of okay. But if you were at the flea market, like, and somebody's working out a price with the vendor or something, if you came over the top and said, "I'll pay more than that,"
I'd
guy
elbow
will
him in the
pay.
jaw.
Like, yeah, think how messed up that is.
Yeah.
That is like almost like fight worthy,
Yeah, it's
right?
the
Yes.
in-person aspect.
Way back in the day, like early on Retro Liberty, which is like 13, 12 years ago. I remember we went to Frankensons and someone brought in a big box of NES games to trade into a store. And I was like new in the collecting scene. I always played video games. I bought video games, but I was like new in like the etiquette. And some guy, the store owner was looking through the box and like saying, I mean, you could probably feel for him, saying his prices. And I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, that's so low. And I was like, hey, if you want, I'll buy these off you for way more than that.
And you're
Well, I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just like I didn't know the etiquette. I was like, oh, dude, I'm like trying to help the guy, right? I'm like,
Did he
okay,
get
I can give you
mad?
a lot more than that. And the guy's like, I'm going to call security if you don't get out here. The guy who worked there.
Dang.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he told me he's going to call security on me.
I mean, yeah.
I think I
mean,
said something verbal, like rude to him just because I was,
but you're also like,
young and goofy.
soliciting
I think I made fun of
somebody's
him or
business,
something. Yeah.
I mean, I get that. I mean, I would never like there could be a deal right in front of me, and then it's like, I would have probably paid more, but I'm not gonna say that, in person.
I know I've had it's definitely an etiquette thing. There's been so many times, all of us, right? You've been at a flea market. Somebody gets to something before you and they're like, oh yeah, I'll give you the $5 for it. And you want to be like, well, I'll give you 10, but you just have to bite your lip. Do not do it. It's
Dude,
like,
I remember actually being
Yeah, I guess
in
I-
your store
we've never
and somebody
talked
was
about
like
that.
trading in a Wii U, and I was like, "Oh wow, I wonder what they're paying."
well, that's a
that-
different scenario.
But
That-
no, I would never do
I will
it. But
boot
I was
people
just
out of my
yeah,
store
I was
in a
just curious.
heartbeat if they try to do that.
Yeah,
See,
that's
like,
totally wrong.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean,
You were-
you never
Thanks.
want to steal food from your boy's plate.
Well, not his store. There's a video of Ricky and I in old Retro Liberty
Right.
called Snake in GameStop, and it's us outside, and we see someone walking with Contra Hardcore, all this stuff in the box, and we're like, hold on, are you going in there? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, come to my car. It's on video. And I'm like, we'll give you like 60%, dude.
Is that okay? But that's a little bit back.
That's what the video's called.
But also, I've heard like even with stories is like
Corporate. Taken away from the corporate is
I
not
still
as
don't like
bad.
taking away from anybody.
But it is corporate. It has a different
It is
feel.
okay if
But
you do it
GameStop,
to GameStop.
GameStop employees have done the same thing too, as well as like there's a game that comes in sealed, and their policy at the time was they had to rip open the seal and test
God.
it. The guy behind the counter goes, I'll take a 5-minute break if you let me go buy it outside. That's
Yeah.
what he tells his manager, just to go buy the sealed games, because he knows if he breaks that seal,
Yep.
the value is gone on the game, right? And so you pretty much have to front door it at that point, right? You're front dooring it at GameStop. But, I felt like a scumbag doing it myself, but I knew I was like, you know what? I had to get a little bit of a get back. I didn't get the
I
kiosk.
think the longer we do it, we learn like there's always like variations to like what's right and what's wrong depending on where and how, and is the guy a scumbag? Like there's just all these like weird
It's not always black and white.
intricacies. Yeah,
I
there
feel
you
like
go.
the more Curtis hangs out with us, the more his morals have lowered.
No. I am I'm strong on them.
You're always trying to
I
pull
was-
you down a little
I was
bit.
in a moment of weakness there when I'm on the other side of
I was like,
Opera.
Curtis, how could you? What are you doing?
Guys, I am excited to have Gabo here, and have Ben. Thank you so much for always contributing
you.
over here.
Keep Gabo's health in your prayers. He's
Yes,
getting better.
pray.
He's going
Guys-
through some stuff.
If you guys haven't All the links will be linked in the description for SoCal and the audio episodes. And I just want to say we appreciate you guys as always.
SoCal
Retro World. All right, I'm hungry.
Retro World.
I'm hungry.